So welcome to our weekly team call. We have a special guest tonight, and that's just going to be our focus tonight, is hearing from Cassandra and just hearing her story. She has an amazing story. I first met Cassandra at conference last year in Dallas, and really got to know her a little bit there, but really got to know her really well in Mexico. We hung out, her and her husband, and myself and Mark. We hung out most of the time, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
And so she has an amazing story. I love her. We've gotten really close, and we text like almost every day, don't we?
Pretty much. I feel like if I don't hear from you, then something's wrong.
Yeah, true. All right, girl, take it away. I can't wait to hear it. Story.
Okay, y'all. So, like Jamie said, my name is Cassandra Turner. I have been with Lavelle for a little over 11 months now. February 20th will be a full year that I've been with Lavelle. I was first introduced to the product just by a 3-day mini experience. Me and my upline both came from another company, and she was to the point with that other company where she just didn't feel like she was supposed to be there anymore. And I was kind of just like hanging on with her just because me and her were super close. Like I was just kind of there because she was still there. So she reached out to me. She told me that she had found this opportunity, like that she had really been fighting it for about 4 or 5 months, just never really came out and said anything. So when she contacted me about this other business, she's like, here's what I want you to do. She's like, I don't want you to make any commitments yet. Like, I don't want you to do anything. I just want you to try a mini experience. So I'm like, okay, what could it hurt?
Hey, Cassandra.
I
can't see your pretty face.
Hold on.
I wasn't sure if that was on purpose or she didn't know that we were being blocked by her beautifulness.
Oh, I don't want y'all to see me, but it's okay.
Okay.
There. Better?
Yeah.
I look like crap.
Oh, stop. You do not.
So anyways, so she decided to send me a 3-day mini experience, y'all, and I was like, and a lot of people don't know this, Danny doesn't even know this, but I had actually tried the product before in the past and felt absolutely nothing from the product. So I'm like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, I'm not doing this. Like, I've already tried it. That's not for me, whatever. I gave in. I listened to her, and literally I was a day one thriver. She sent it to me, and I got it in the mail. She went over with me how to take the product and all that good stuff. And I started it, and I literally messaged her like 2 hours later, and I was like, am I supposed to have all this energy? Like, am I supposed to be like cleaning my house from top to bottom? Like, honestly, when my husband got home that afternoon, he thought something was wrong with me. He's like, what is going on? Like, the whole house is clean. Supper's cooked, like what's going on? So, it didn't take me but 2 days to message her, and I was like, okay, you're gonna have to tell me more about this business opportunity. Like, I have to know what's going on. I don't know if maybe I didn't take it right the first time. Maybe my body was different at that time, and it just didn't, kick in right away. But I'm like, you have to tell me how I can share this with everybody. Like, this is amazing. So she went over it. I joined her right away. I hit my VIP 800 in my first 14 days. I went 4K in April, I believe. Yeah, it was February is when I joined, and then I went 4K in April. And then from April until just a couple weeks ago, I was a 4K. Like, I stayed at 4K from April until last Wednesday, when I finally went 12K. And I feel like it took me forever. Woo-hoo. But I will say this, I do feel like there is like a time and a place for everybody. And as much as I was discouraged and as much as I was like aggravated, because I'm like, I'm not growing, like nothing is going on, like nothing's going right for me. I'm not supposed to be just sitting still. What's the deal? Now I completely understand that there is always a time and a place for things to happen. Like it was not meant for me to hit 12K months ago. It was meant for me to hit 12K last Wednesday. So honestly, and I told Danny knows too, what really made my business just like pick up and grow was going to Mexico last October, or this past October. When I first joined, my husband was like supportive, and he was, you know, whatever, like he supported me in everything that I've done, but he's also kind of been used to it. So therefore it was like, it was not a big deal for him. Like he didn't, like it wasn't anything special, I guess. So when I took him to Mexico with me, it was like the week after we got back from Mexico. He had never been on the product. From the time that I joined in February until we went to Mexico in October, never even tried the product. Like he was skeptic. He loved supporting me, but he just didn't believe in it. Like that's just how he was. And I remember the week that we came back from Mexico, Chastity was doing a training here. And I got him to go with me. We woke up at like 7 o'clock that morning, training started at 8 o'clock. And I just asked him, I was like, will you just do the product? Like, will you just, I'll lay it all out for you. Like I'll bring you your capsules to the bed. Like I'll do everything if you'll just take the product. And he's like, okay, I'll do it. He loved it, fell in love with it. So the day that we went to Chastity's training was the very first day that he had tried the product. So that was super cool. So from then on, I felt like, because he was always supportive, but I felt like I had his support 150% after that. So I firmly believe that Mexico is what changed my entire business completely. So it has been awesome.
Well, I try to explain to everybody. I know it's hard when they've never been, but how impactful conferences and how important it is to go to conference and these lifestyle getaways to try to, you know, do what you can to earn these trips, because, you know, you're there with other leaders, you know, other sidelines, you know, getting inspiration and motivation, getting, you know, talking with others that are in the same business, same company, using the same products. And I went to conference 3 weeks after I started, and it was like huge for us because we knew what conference was from our previous company, but this was completely different. And it really changed my whole thinking, because you were so like, you know, you're told to think a certain way, do things a certain way. And when we went, it was completely different. And there was nobody telling you, you have to do this, you have to say this. It's
right.
You're your own person. It's your own business. And, you know, it was just such a relief. And we got to meet all of our upline and other leaders in the company. And we were sitting next to multi-millionaires, and we never even knew it.
Because everybody's the same. Everybody acts the same exact way.
We were playing, this is recording, but we were playing drinking games in our hotel room. And like Barry Hurt, I'm sitting next to Barry Hurt in my hotel room playing drinking games with Barry Hurt. You know, so that was just amazing. And then, you know, going on these lifestyle trips, just, you know, and most of the time it's just you have your own time, do what you want. Yeah, actually, everybody needs to go. But you know, but you're still there as a team. You do everything with your team, with your upline, with, you know, and then you meet new people, and it was just a game changer, I think, for a lot of people. I think Mexico was a game changer. There's a lot more people.
Yeah, because you're
than Toronto.
Well, you're learning things, and you don't even realize that the whole time that you're on these lifestyle getaways, you're learning. Like you're taking in information that it's not even really being handed to you, but you're just overhearing these conversations, and you're like, whoa, I could do that, you know, for my business. Like that could help me with my business. You don't even realize how much you're learning on these lifestyle getaways.
So I don't know if you know, you pronounce her name Twin, but she's number one on all the leaderboards. We spent time with her in Mexico. We had dinner with her. We were in the pool with her, and we just picked her brain. Like, how are you getting all these, you know, customers, and, you know, how did your business explode? So I don't know if you know, but Twin, she does like eyebrows and Twin. It's Tuy.
Tuyen.
Something like that. She's on top of the
Yeah.
leaderboard always.
She's number one right now.
Yeah. This gorgeous, teeny tiny Asian. Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
She drinks like a sailor.
Uh-huh.
You know, we could not keep up with her. And, you know, she does eyebrows and she does eyelashes, and she just exploded. Her business exploded. She signed with someone. They're from Canada, and it's tough in Canada because of the conversion rate. All the prices are higher, and you know, shipping takes longer. But you know, she doesn't ask them. She tells them, "This is what you need. This is what you're gonna buy." Doesn't even give them a choice. And she signed with someone who's in Canada, and she went 80K with her sponsor still at 12, and her sponsor just went 40. So, you know, all of you can just, you know, wherever you want to take your business, that's completely up to you. And so let me ask you a question. I know you had to have been like a little discouraged and, you know, questioning things for a while. And like, how did you get pushed through that?
I think, yeah, I was discouraged for sure. And even back in October and November of last year, I would get so close to 12 every single month, and I just could not get all the way there. But I mean, I did a lot on my own. I did do a whole lot on my own. Like until I finally, the end of last year is when I signed a couple of girls up, and they're killing it. They're blowing it up. But I think that the biggest thing that pushed me through was just you have to stay consistent. Even when you get discouraged, I mean, you still have to keep sharing. You have to keep, and that's what I try to tell my girls all the time. You'll see a post on their Facebook and you won't see anything else for a week and a half or 2 weeks. And they're like, I don't understand what's going on. Like, why am I not, why is nobody messaging me? Why is nobody interested? They're not staying consistent though. Even when you have a post on your Facebook and it only shows 4 or 5 likes, I can promise you people are still watching you. You might think that they're not, but people are still watching you because people are nosy and they want to see that you're succeeding with it before they give in and before they choose, to take that leap of faith. I was the same way. I mean, I wanted to see what everybody else was doing with it before I joined. I mean, it's just, you have to stay consistent. It's so important. Consistency is probably the most important.
And again, Cassandra, if you don't mind touching on, when it's quiet and people aren't communicating, aren't liking your posts, and aren't commenting on your posts, that's the best time because you know that explosion is going to come. And any of us at any rank, at any point, can tell you that I guarantee before Cassie hit her 12, it was probably really quiet. And we were probably feeling a little shitty about it at that point.
Oh, yeah, it was very quiet. And then I had a girl join me in December who I had absolutely no idea that had been watching me for over 6 months. I mean, she was watching me. She joined me in December and just went 4K this past week. I mean, people are watching. You don't think they're watching, but people are watching.
Yeah.
Because people are nosy.
Right. People are like, Ashley just said that. Women are nosy.
People are nosy, yeah.
But, that's peanut gallery back here. But, what was I going to say now? But yeah, so just because so many people, they came in with, a big network because they had been with, different companies for a while and they went fast. But, it doesn't, you shouldn't, I think I posted something the last day or so, still got to, cheer those people on and don't compare yourself to them, because you will get there as long as you're consistent and you keep doing what you're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I came over, I didn't have a team at all when I came over. I mean, I literally started from scratch. I was with my last company, yeah, but I never built a team. I never had a team under me. I never had consistent customers who were ordering under me every month. So I literally started from scratch with LaVille.
So when I came over, nobody came with me from my team. Nobody. I signed this woman, pain in my ass, that I knew from down the road. And her name is Michelle.
Wow.
No, oh my gosh, you know I love you. But no, like if you just find that person, you always should be looking, always signing people and looking
Mm-hmm.
for that person, because look at you, almost a year, and someone signed with you and within a month went 4K,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And I bet you struggled finding that person that wanted it as much as you, that, you know, that knew that you knew that they could do it. Like,
Oh yeah, it was so hard because when I could watch my sales go all the way to $9,000 and $10,000 a month, and I knew if I just had one strong leg under me, I would already be there. Like I would already be there, but I'm doing it all on my own. But honestly, doing it by myself, which I mean, I know she just went 4K and she's freaking amazing, but it really made me feel so much better knowing what I could accomplish on my own.
yeah. I have Michelle and her team, and I have, my other legs, but man, it's nice when you find, teammates and, other people that you can lock arms with and just, be successful with and just root them on. And, it's nice. But, I want everybody to just keep, pushing and, working and being consistent, because they will come.
Yeah, Nancy's
People.
commenting down at the bottom. I'm not sure if you can see that, Cassie. A lot of her girls are asking if you have any tips or anything specific you can give to the newest girls. We've had 99 people join us in the last 30 days. So we've really, really exploded. And there's 2 of us training. So a lot of the girls that are on are new. And they're asking, if you have any tips or anything to give them on how you get your customers, how you do your closing. It's going to be better coming from you than Danny or myself, because we've said it, 100 times. Hearing it from you is going to be really special.
Right.
So if you wouldn't mind sharing your tips.
Well, okay, so my biggest thing I have, honestly, in the last couple months, my biggest thing as far as new customers go are those referrals. Those customer referrals are the most important thing ever. And I never understood that up until a couple of months ago. If you think about it, yes, that customer that refers these 2 customers, they are getting that credit for it. But that goes towards your volume every month. I never understood how important it was, but those customer referrals are super important. And I will tell y'all another thing that I was going to touch on is my mini experiences. I allow myself to give free 2 mini experiences per month for free. But in order for that person to get that mini experience for free, they go through my funnel. They are a customer under me. I know that once they fall in love with that 3-day mini experience, they are locked to me. They are, when they come back to me and they say, oh my gosh, I love it. How do I order? Another big thing that I do always do is if a person pays me full price, which, what I charge for my mini experiences, I will tell them in 3 days when you come back to me, when you absolutely love the product, I will give you that much off of your product. If they pay me $25 for a 3-day, I will give them $25 off when they purchase that 4 weeks. Because I know they're going to be in love with the product, and they're going to find those 2 referrals so that they don't even have to pay the following month. So customer referrals are super duper duper important.
Also, what it does for your business is referrals is, one, it goes to your PPA. So even though it's a referral, it's still that's still 1 PPA for you, because it's considered your personally enrolled. Also, that's your personally enrolled customer, so you get the commission off that too. So your customers are doing all the work for you, but they're getting the credits so they can get free product.
And I had a customer.
Sorry, Cassie. I was just, when you get a chance to touch base, if you do 3-way calls and how important those are too.
Okay, so with 3-ways with me, honestly, I found that 3-way chats are way more, and that's just what works better for me. 3-way calls are important, and there are some people who still will get on the phone with you and do a 3-way, but I have been more successful with 3-way chats just because I feel like those people will send those messages back and forth with me and whoever I'm in that 3-way with, because they feel more comfortable, because they're not actually talking to me on the phone, but they can ask what they want to ask in that three-way message, and they don't feel pressured. So three-way messages always work better for me. But I mean, that's just me personally.
Do any of you guys have any questions for Cassie?
You just have to unmute yourself. Come on, Danielle. I know you got something.
Just click on your face and unmute yourself.
I don't know. I've been doing so many Zooms and like so many calls lately. I'm just getting more and more information every day that I'm like, I don't have like questions. I'm just taking it all in now, like different perspectives of three-way calls, or how people are getting their customers or helping their promoters. Like today, I don't know, I took it upon like myself to connect with my newest promoter, Kayla, who's on, so say hi to Kayla. And have just like a 50-minute training real quick video message with her. And I figured that worked better than just like trying to type out things and stuff like that, or explain just by saying like, go to this website and see if you understand. I felt that may have worked better for her. She'll probably let you know that if it does. But I'm just taking things in, so I don't really have any big questions. I just like everyone's perspectives, to be honest with you.
So we have a bunch that have kind of fallen off. Everybody has a different reason why, and they're just getting restarted again. And they were kind of asking, where do I start? So can you kind of give us your what you do for all your new promoters? Kind of like give us like an idea of how we can start our new promoters that are just starting out, or kind of the promoters that are seasoned but are just kind of revamping their business again.
Okay, so let me tell y'all, number one, when the leaderboard came out a couple weeks ago, it was funny because when 2.0 launched, obviously that's when the leaderboard came out too. So I had one of my promoters message me the next day, and she goes, you're on the leaderboard, right? And I was like, what am I on the leaderboard for? Like, what are you even talking about? Like, what leaderboard are you talking about? The reason that I was on that leaderboard, and I'll just tell y'all, once 2.0 launched, I reached back out to every single promoter that had ever personally enrolled under me. Maybe they didn't do much with the business. Maybe they went VIP and then they just stopped. Maybe they were halfway to 4K and they got discouraged. I reached out to every single one of them, and I told them, hey, I know that you were in love with the product when you first joined. Maybe they weren't getting it for free. Maybe whatever the case was. I reached out to every one of them, and I told them about 2.0. I told them, I was like, I know that you haven't been a part of it for a little while now, but I can't tell you a whole lot about 2.0 because I'm not sure, but I know how much you loved it before. Out of those, I want to say there was probably 4 or 5 promoters that I reached out to once 2.0 launched. I have 2 of them that just decided to purchase their package, I think last week or the week before, and they're both going VIP 800, and they never even did anything with the business before.
Nice.
So it's super important to stay in contact with your promoters. Even if you haven't heard from them in months, you don't know what their financial situation is. You don't know why they stopped. You don't know if it was just because they got discouraged. I always say that it's so important to reach back out to them, though, because you never know if one of them's just going to, message you back and go, yeah, I'm ready to go now. Like, I'm ready to start. I want to see where this business takes me, where I can go with it. So it's super important to reach back out to everybody. And I think promoters want to feel like they're important. I mean, they do. Like, I like to feel like I'm important, even though I'm doing my own business now. I mean, I still like to get that message from an upline every now and then, just to ask me how I'm doing, ask me if I need anything. And I feel like if you don't continue to have those conversations, like those personal, not conversations, relationships with your promoters, they feel like you're basically using them, honestly. And I know that sounds crazy, but they feel like you had them join you just to help yourself with the business, and then you wanted nothing else to do with them. So when they feel like you have that personal relationship with them, they're going to go so much further than than before when you reach back out to them.
Absolutely.
How important do you feel lives are?
Oh my gosh, lives are so important, y'all. I haven't really done a whole lot lately, but there for a while, I made double sure that I had at least 2 lives per week, because y'all know that the way Facebook is jacked up, like there's something wrong with it, but it automatically pops up and tells you when somebody's live, y'all, and you don't know who's watching. Like, you don't know, it might be 20 totally different people who watched your live video 2 nights before that. I mean, you never know who's watching. I had a girl call me yesterday because she got my number from somebody as a referral, and she's like, "Hey girl, I just wanted to let you know that I'm the girl that popped on your live a couple weeks ago and told you hey." And I was like, I have no idea who this person was. Like, I probably didn't even pay attention to the comment, to be honest. But people are watching. You don't know how many people are actually watching you. She's like, "I told you hey on your live a few weeks ago, but I don't think you knew who I was." And now I have her number. She's called me on the phone twice already, and we have that relationship with each other, and she feels important. So lives are super important.
And two, you guys, touching on the lives, you got to remember that that little number that you see up in the top left-hand corner is not true who's watching you. Those are just the friends that are watching you. So everybody that connects with those people that hop on are not going to populate in that number. So if it says you have 7, more than likely you have like 28.
Mm-hmm.
So just keep that in mind. By asking people to share your live, that's going to go viral really quickly. And that is like just like having the referral system in your back pocket with a remote control.
And another thing with the lives too, make sure that you keep some of them personal. They don't all have to be business related. I don't have kids, but I have dogs. There's times where I'll post live videos of my dogs being absolute, goofballs. Like, people don't want to feel like your page is nothing but a business page. I mean, they don't want to see it all the time. If you keep personal and business on your page, people are way more likely to look at your stuff that you're posting. They're going to go, "Oh, that's that crazy Thrive girl. She's posting again. Like, I don't want to see her crap." Like, that's how people are. But if you add personal to your page on top of your business, so many more people are going to reach out to you than you think. You cannot have it just business related.
All right. Any other questions for Cassandra? This is the time.
Do you do a lot of friend requests and stuff, Cassie?
I do, but I always go through and look at their page too, because you want to, especially if it's somebody that you friend request and you end up with a message from them 2 weeks later, you want to go ahead and find something on their page that you relate to. It can be something simple, something small. Maybe like I said before, I might friend request somebody who I keep scrolling down her page and she has a picture of her pit bull. We relate. Like, it's something that we relate with. Don't make people think that you're just friend requesting them just to make a sale. Or not only are they going to unfriend you, but they're going to block you.
That was a good point. So that isn't even what I was going for, but that was an amazing point. I'm so glad you brought that up.
That's just really important to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to build relationships, and that's what I can say. Like, every single customer that I have under me, I know something personal about every single one of them. And it's not because I'm nosy. It's just because I build those relationships and I conversate with them every 3 or 4 days, and they feel important. So we have that relationship because I keep in contact with them. I don't sign a customer up and have them, buy their product and then they not hear from me until the next month. I don't do it that way. I keep in contact. I don't overdo it. Like, I don't message them nonstop, but they are going to hear from me, at least once a week, probably.
That's amazing. They always say fortune's in the follow-up. You don't know if that customer is going to be, going to refer 10 other customers for you. You don't know. Or might end up upgrading and being a promoter and being your rock star. So that's really important. Just following up with all your customers on a basis, like a weekly, monthly, bi-monthly basis. It's whatever you feel comfortable with that customer. So, you know, and like you said, don't always have it be about the business. You know, look at their page every once in a while and see what's going on in their life and say, hey, I saw that, you know, you went to this concert. Oh my gosh, I love them, you know. So always, you know, show interest in their life. And
I want to say one thing. Just about myself. I don't know if anyone else has this problem, but like on Messenger, I'm like awkward. Like I get like I'll like message someone like that I'll see like has like, I don't know, they're like suffering with their job or like they're tired or something, and I'll just be like, hey, how are you doing? And I'll try to like have a conversation with them, and then it will awkwardly end conversation, and I'm like, da da da, I don't know what to say now. They'll write like, oh, okay, and I'm like like I don't know. Like sometimes I just have no idea where to go from there. Like I'm trying to keep this relationship going, and then they're just like they don't want even like to be friends or something. So I don't know. Like if anyone else has that problem or can help me deal with that.
We've all been there.
That moment of awkward silence.
Yeah,
I can't tell y'all how many awkward conversations I've had with people. Like I think it really does happen a lot.
yeah. I had the one girl like she was talking about she like hated her job but she kept posting really positive quotes though. So I like messaged her and I was like, oh my god, I love your positivity and your quotes and stuff, like, you know, with everything that's going on and blah blah blah. And then she was like, oh, haven't talked to you in like 15 years. And I was like all just really awkwardly. And I was like, yeah, you know, I was just like, you know, I just want to check in. Da, da, da. It was really weird. I don't know. I'm terrible.
Yeah, well, that's, you know, I think it's all depends on the situation that you're in, and be like, you know, just kind of get past that and just kind of almost ignore it. You know,
Yeah.
like,
I was like, oh, you're just positive and that's cool. And so where do you work? That's kind of like what I did.
right. Yeah, well, I sorry about that. Now. All right. Anybody else have any questions?
Danielle, real quick. I don't know much about but when you talk to people, try to have almost like questions.
You're breaking up, Cass.
When you're, can you hear me now?
Kayla, you're muted.
Okay, can you hear me now? Okay, this is breaking out completely. Danielle, I'm just gonna message you.
My name's Logan.
You muted yourself again, Kayla. You're not going to do it?
I have him talking, and you can't, if I'm breaking out, I'll just message you. Can you guys hear me?
Oh, we can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Hey.
I need one. Walk into the other room, Logan. One of the things when it comes to awkward conversations like that, try to, like when you're trying to engage somebody, don't ask something like a closed-ended question where they can child out of the room for a second, where you can ask questions, but you can make them sentences. Don't give them something where they can answer with yes, no. They have to add a little more to that sentence. Yeah, but that's about it. Okay, anyways.
Okay.
Okay.
I love that. That's perfect.
Yeah, that's a really good point, is not making it a yes or no. Make it so that they have to add to, like, I don't know, I can't think of a for instance on what you're talking about right now. I think that might have just been meant to be an awkward end to your relationship with her altogether. I don't know.
So on that same
okay with this Bluetooth thing?
Barely.
Yeah, barely.
Okay, let me take it off and put it on speakerphone. Hold on. Maybe.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. So earlier today, I think I shared it in the chat actually. I had a girl, she's been thinking about trying Thrive. She's not even my customer yet. And I sent her a message and said, hey, how are you doing? Like, that was it, because I still want to get her going, but she hasn't jumped on board yet. She's been super busy. And then she ended up tagging me in a post on Facebook and said that how she's venting, and I was the only one who's cared about her and to say anything in the past 2 days. Like, people need to hear that, whether you're friends with them or not. And she made it a point to say she barely even knows who I am, but I'm the only one who ever says, hey, how are you doing? Like, that's huge for people.
Yeah, I don't know if Amanda's still on here, but Amanda Childress, doesn't look like it. She was with the previous company, just kind of, talked to her here and there. And I noticed that she was off Facebook for a while, and I just kept messaging her, are you okay? I haven't heard from you in a while, just checking in. Every 1 to 2 weeks, I would just send her a message. And, just thinking about you, starting to get worried. I hope you're okay, things like that. And when she came back to Facebook, you'll even see in some of her posts that I was the only one that was consistently checking in on her. And, really seemed like I did care. But, it was really like I wasn't trying to get any more than just make sure that she's okay, And look at her. She joined me not much long after that. And
And on this note, both of you just gave me a really good idea for a challenge. If somebody can take a note of it, we can touch base on it in the training chats or the page or whatever. But I think that we should make it a challenge that we write out like a 20s list. And we have to get through that in 48 hours of just think of people off the top of your head that you can just send a message out to and say, hey, you know what, you've been on my mind, or just wanted to say, hey, make sure you're okay. I haven't seen you posting much. Just somebody can think of, like, you know what, I haven't seen Lori post in a long time. So I'm just going to either tag her in it on Facebook and be like, hey, girl, you've been on my mind, something. But I think that if you guys have something tangible in front of you, a list of names. I know we're constantly pounding that hundreds list into your guys' heads, but I don't think we've seen any of your lists ever. So it makes me wonder if you guys are actually sitting down and doing 100 people off the top of your head. Then let's go to 20. And I want you guys to try to get 20 people to just send a message to it. It had nothing to do with Lavelle. You barely know this person, but at least reach out and sit down and do that for 10 minutes. Send out 20 messages. I think that we should make some sort of challenge to do that and see how many people we can get on board and watch how much your business will explode just by starting those relationships, because you know how many people are afraid to even ask you about Thrive for Lavelle because they don't have an opening. They don't want to get spammed. So if you just start a conversation, hey, how are you feeling? You know what? I'm so glad you messaged me. I've been meaning to ask you about this business. I hate my job. I see how much you'd be amazed at how many people will come back with the questions that you want answers to, and you don't even have to ask them. You just have to reach out. Your rock star is right there. You talk to them a million times. You just haven't asked them. So I think that everybody needs to write down names.
With you saying that, I actually had this conversation with Lori a few days ago, maybe about a week now. And she texted me because she's been struggling, which I told everybody in the chat to do. If you have something, let me know and we'll figure it out. So I told Lori to start with letter A. And I want you to message people and say, hey, how was your holiday? How's your new year going? And she's been doing that. Yeah, you may get 1 out of 10 that answer you and even say anything back. But she's building those relationships. You are not talking to them about Thrive. It's a relationship-based business. So that is perfect. And that's what Lori's been doing.
Yeah, I like that idea. Even if you start with, A through D,
I started making mine, like they're all on, you can't tell, but they're all little people on Post-it notes. So
Oh my God, that's
like, and then I started making a list of the actual people that I was talking to and stuff. So I have 2 different lists.
I have
I'll forget.
another question for Cassandra. You brought up you give 2 free 3-day samples away every month. How do you distinguish who gets the free one, who pays? Like, what do? Do you let them know I only have 2 this month, or they have certain criteria they have to meet? How do you determine that?
I just go back through my messages. Like I can honestly, I can tell you that when 2.0 launched, I went back through my messages. I had messages from people asking me questions that got overlooked. I'm not even going to lie. There were questions that were overlooked. There were people that messaged me and said, hey, I needed to know more about this or this. And I was so overwhelmed in the beginning of my business that I didn't even realize that I was not responding back to every one of those messages. So what I will do each month is I do give 2 free ones away. And I just go back through. A lot of the times I will message, just say if there's this last month, maybe 10 people messaged me. I'll go back through monthly from the month before. So say I give 2 free ones away in February, I'll go back through all of my messages from people in January. And I just kind of go by like what they tell me that they need. Like, honestly, it depends on like that relationship that you're building with them too. Because I mean, you can tell when somebody just wants something for free. And when somebody really wants something that's going to make them feel 100 times better than what they feel. So I just build that relationship. I go back through and just say I message everybody that has reached out to me in January. I start talking to them. I build those relationships. I just kind of go by how they act. Like if it's something they really, really, I feel like they really need in their life, then that's kind of how I go by it. I don't want somebody to reach out to me and go, hey, I want to try Thrive, but I don't want to pay for it. Like, can you give me a sample? It's rude, honestly. So I just I have to fill them out, and I have to kind of build that relationship and kind of just go by what it is that they're looking for.
The other one's gone. I have to take it again too. I'm on.
Awesome. Someone has a question. Do you come across someone while sending a message that gets annoyed with you? If so, how do you handle that without pushing too hard but still trying to build that relationship?
Well, it's hard when you feel like you're being pushy because it's like she was saying earlier, it's kind of like a dead end conversation. Like you don't want somebody to feel like you just started that conversation just to make a sale. Like you don't want them to make, but if it seems like that conversation is not going towards what you're aiming that conversation for, don't do it. Because 9 times out of 10, 2 or 3 months down the road, that person is going to reach back out to you and go, you know what? I'm watching you and I still see that you're on this product and that you're loving it. Can you tell me a little bit more about it? Like, I try so hard not to be pushy. And y'all, there are people that I feel like it doesn't matter how you talk to them. It doesn't matter how you conversate with them. They're going to think that you're coming off as pushy. That's just how some people are. But I'll say this, like I was talking about referrals earlier. I have a girl that ordered her product. She's been a friend of mine for years and joined me when she signed up as a free customer as soon as I joined the business last February and just placed her first order 2 weeks ago. And that was because she had taken it from a different, somebody had sold her a sample in the past. They didn't get her email. They didn't create an account, whatever. She hated it. She was just like me. She didn't like it. She didn't see any results. So fast forward though, as far as coming off as pushy, she made a good point to me. Because she's already sent me her 2 referrals. Like she's already going to be thriving for free next month. And she just ordered her product 2 weeks ago. So, but what she said to me was, a lot of times people think that since you're a promoter that you have to be pushy. And she made a point, she said, I know that I'm not a promoter, but obviously I would like to have my product for free next month. It's neat when a customer can refer those 2 people because they're not coming off as pushy to those 2 referrals. They're literally telling those 2 referrals what this product has already done for them. And they think that they should, get on board with them, thrive with them, whatever. That's why I've come to the realization that those customer referrals are important because 9 times out of 10, those 2 referrals are going to listen to that customer over that promoter. They just are because that customer is given their personal experience with that product.
Also, those referrals go towards you and your leaderboard, doesn't it?
Yes. I'm still up there.
The thousands and thousands of dollars that you're going for. What's the top one's like $40,000?
$40,000, yes.
Yeah. So referrals are huge. It helps your business, and you don't have to work as hard. You know, they're doing all the work for you. That's amazing. Cassie, can you share about how you are building your network for some of the people who are new to the business, such as adding people, what you do to look for when adding people? So do you interview? What do you do? Or do you sign a lot of free promoters? Are they all promoters that upgrade? Like, how do you find your promoters?
Honestly, they come to me, but I'll tell you, I have so many promoters that are under me who are just still free promoters. They've never upgraded. They've never done anything. And I honestly feel like it's because they're sitting back and they're watching me. They're going, where is she going to be in the next 6 months? Is she still going to be with this business? Is she going to be somewhere else? I think you can tell when a promoter, you know, if a promoter reaches out to you, and they're going to tell you what it is that they're looking for. The promoters that have just killed it these last few months with me is because they come to me and they say, I want you to tell me about this business. What do I have to do to get started? I've even shown people how to sample, you know, sell those samples before they order their product so they don't come out of pocket any money if they don't have the money to get started. And I think you can tell which promoters are serious. Just like last week, I had a girl sign up and she said, hey girl, I just signed up. I did my promoter, you know, I created my account. I've already watched the training videos. What's next? When you have those promoters who have already been on that website and they've watched those videos and they want to know what do you do to get started now? Like, I've already done all that. That's when you know you have somebody who is ready to run with you.
Yeah, you want to ensure, you know, tell them the steps that they need to take to be successful.
I just want to say amen to that. Like, if I can get some of my new girls to say, I watch those videos, I'm ready to go. What do you want me to do next? Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Yeah, sometimes they sign up and then they kind of they do things on their own time, but you know, this is you start and you know, you want to go in fast, you want to go in hard, and because you have 30 days to get your 4K, to get your iPad mini bonus, you have 2 weeks to get your 2 bonuses, your 2 VIP bonuses. You know, a lot of money in the first, you know, 2 to 14 to 30 days. So that's a lot of money that, you know, you're leaving on the table.
Right. Why wait?
Yeah. Why wait? It's all that time that you're wasting. You know, that's what we really want to try to get across with our new promoters is, and we're here for every single one of them, you know, to help them. You know, we have amazing training videos. We have lots of resources, PDFs and groups and chats and, you know, so, you know, it's really important to utilize all the resources that, you know, this company provides. Awesome. So you just hit, what's that?
I got a quick question.
Oh, Mark has a question.
So ask her. I'm coming in as somebody that wants to get a sample. How would she sell it?
Did you hear that? He contacts you and he wants a sample. No, you just are talking and he's talking about maybe getting a sample, might want to try it. How do you sell it to him? How do you sell a sample?
I'm tired. I need energy.
He is so dang tired. Working from home, sleeping in.
Must be so rough. So just how would I sell that to them? Like, how would I make that sale? Is that what you want to know?
Yeah.
Random person.
Random. Yep.
Well, I think again, you have to build a relationship at the same time with that person, but you also want to know what their needs are. Like, I can't tell you how many people come to me and they go, I just want it for the energy. But then you have these other people that are like, I don't even need energy. I just want this. So you have to dig deep and you have to decide number one, what it is that they're looking for in that 3-day sample. And number two, what's going to work best for them. And I cannot stress enough to people how important it is to realize that this product is going to do something different for everybody. It's not going to do the same thing for you as it does for me. Like I'll have people message me and go, hey, such and such bought a sample from you. They loved it. This is what it did for them. That's what I need. And I just go ahead and tell them right away, that might not be what it does for you. It's going to depend on what your body needs, what it's like. You know, I mean, and I like to be upfront and honest with them when it comes to that, just because I don't want them to come back to me 3 or 5 days later and go, well, it did that for her and you told me it was going to do it for me and it didn't. So you have to dig deep and really figure out what it is that they're looking for with that sample. And I always explain to them that they might not see anything in 3 days. The 3-day sample is just specifically to show them the simplicity of it, show them how easy it is to get up and do 3 steps within 20 minutes of your day. So I'm always upfront and honest and tell them, you know, there's a chance that you might, you know, get results right away. There's a chance that you might not. I mean, it's just specifically for that simplicity to show you.
I always tell everybody that I, you know, sell samples to or give them to, that the same thing. You know, you could be a day 1, you could be a day 10, you could be, you know, it's an 8-week experience for a reason.
Right.
But, you know, like the 3 steps, it's to show you the simplicity. It's to show you, you know, what to take and when, and if it's something that you can be consistent on. If you can't, then this product isn't for you.
If you have somebody that comes to you and says, oh my gosh, that's 20 minutes of my morning, and you don't think that they're going to be consistent with it, 9 times out of 10, there's absolutely no reason for them to be buying that 3-day mini from you if they're not going to be consistent with it for 8 weeks. I mean, and I still get that. I do have people go, oh, well, I just thought it was one thing that I could do when I first get up in the mornings and I don't have to do anything else. Well, it is in the first 20 minutes of your morning. But if you're wanting quick results and you don't even have the 20 minutes, you know, extra in your morning before you go get your day started, then 9 times out of 10, you're not going to follow through with it in 4 or 8 weeks.
Awesome. Do we have any more questions?
Does Mark have any more questions?
Do you have any more questions? He wants to know.
No. Tell her.
He said he just wants to applaud you.
Because that's what we need to understand, all of us as promoters.
Are you muted? Why don't you?
Hi, Mark.
Hi.
Hi, guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Mark, we can barely hear you. You're going to have to either talk louder or move closer to Danny, or else you'll have to repeat everything you're saying.
Hold on. Right now.
Can you hear me now?
No. You're going to have to come over closer.
Just get closer.
That's fine.
Girl, we spent every second of every day together. We're good.
Never mind, y'all stay apart.
I just wanted to say that that's what we need to understand as promoters, especially some of the new promoters right now that we have. Like, take the time to interview and find out. Don't just sell that $25 pack, or don't just give it away. Just interview to find out, because we've experienced that here within the last month. Some people are like, oh yeah, I want to try it. They get it, they don't use it. So you just basically threw away product. Will they use it? Who knows? Have I followed up with them? Has Danny followed up with them? Yes. But the reality is, you still got to be able to stop, interview, and take that time. And that's one thing I wanted to applaud you on, because it's different coming from us all the time. It's great to hear another sideline person be able to say, look, you have to do this. You have to look at the way other people are doing it.
Absolutely.
And another thing, too, with him talking about giving away products. I know we were talking about how I give away 2 a month. I always do a follow-up about a week later, or, you know, probably about a week after I know that they have that product in their hand. And I ask them, number one, if they've started it yet, because I go ahead and tell them how to take it, like, you know, whatever. Or either they'll message me when they get it and they'll say, okay, what do I do? If they haven't started that product in a week's time, you have to put value on it, number one, because if you go, oh, well, they'll take it eventually, they're never going to take it. So what I always do is about a week later after they get that product, if I ask them if they've tried it yet and they tell me no, I put value to it and let them know, you know, hey, I have somebody else waiting on a 3-day sample. If you think it's something that you're not going to do, can I get it back from you? Or maybe, you know, you can send it back to me, whichever way you want to do it. But when they see that there's value to that product, 9 times out of 10, they're going to go, no, she's not getting it back. Like, I'm going to start it tomorrow. So you have to put value to it.
Absolutely. I think we learned that from like Amber Minquist or something at our leadership retreat, didn't we? Like she'll legit message them like, I'll buy that back from you. That's I have someone that wants it. I'll buy that right back from you. And then they'll see that there's value and like, oh, no, I want it. And then they'll take it right away. You know? Also, making sure they go through the funnel. And, so that's like huge. There's something else.
Oh, well, if somebody gets a 3-day mini from me, they're a customer of mine before they get that product in their hand. Because if they're not even going to let you, go to your website and sign up for that free customer account, then how do you know that they're not going to get that free product from you and then go to somebody else and ask for free product from somebody else? Like they're going to keep doing it. So you always make sure that you lock those customers in, especially if you're giving them free product.
Absolutely. All right. Do we have any other questions for Cassandra? It's funny. I see Cassie, and I'm like, I've never called you that, but like, didn't people start calling you that in Mexico? Cassie.
Yeah, Jamie will not call me Cassie. She calls me Cassandra. It's okay. I don't care.
So since you just hit 12K, you're eligible for your auto bonus. Yes. What are you looking at getting?
What are we looking at getting, babe? Everything, Gavin said.
Hey, Gavin.
Danny said, hey.
Hey. Mark said hi. Oh, what's up?
Oh, he said, what's up? He didn't say, hey, he said, what's up? Probably either a Cadillac or a BMW. I'm not sure yet. Or a Lexus, Gavin said, or a Mercedes. I'm just going to go drive them all and decide after I drive them.
I know she keeps sending me pictures. I think this is the one. And I think this is the one. All right. Well, if nobody has anything else, then I think that we're going to conclude this. So thank you so much, Cassandra. You're an inspiration to us. You've really shown us what hard work and consistency can get you. And just because you don't hit these ranks in the beginning doesn't mean that you won't. So that's so excited for you. And
yes, congratulations, Bo.
Thanks. Yeah. I'm excited. It's uphill from here.
All right. And I'll see you next week.
Woohoo! Vegas.
I expect to see all of you in New Orleans on the next lifestyle getaway. So this is the last time that I'm going alone.
Oh, you'll see me in New Orleans, I promise.
Yeah. All right, guys. Have a great night. Thank you for joining us.
Thank
you. All righty. I'm feeling here. You're welcome.